Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna at Daisy Station, a channel where we do oracle cards readings. Welcome. If you're here for the very first time, I'm very happy to see you. Hope you enjoy today's reading. And in today's reading, we are going to be talking about how you can empower your manifestations. What is there for you to do to make sure that your manifestations are strongest ever? What are the blockages around you? What are the type of energies you need to work through before you really speed up your power of manifestation? So if that's something that resonated with you, if that video found you, then I do hope you find it helpful. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button if you'd like to see more content like that from myself. And yeah, let's get to it. I have prepared for you those three lovely groups. Group number 1 with a selenite, group number 2 with amethyst, and group number 3 with smoke quartz. Now hit a pause button if you need to, or maybe you already know which one of those groups intuitively resonates with you the most. I put all the timestamps in the description section below, as well as information about the decks I use. Thank you so much for coming by, and let's get to it. Hi and welcome to my lovely group number 1. For those of you that resonated the most with this selenite, isn't it just so beautiful? So here is how this reading is going to go. First of all, we are going to see your dream card, and that will be the overall message on what you have to focus on to make sure that your manifestation is the most effective ever. Then we are going to cast some runes to see what type of energies there are around you in the context of this manifestation, and to see if there are any particular blockages or energy staling moments that you perhaps should look into. And at the very end, we are going to draw a couple of oracle cards to give us a further context of your manifestation. So I do hope you enjoy that. And let's start with unveiling your first card. Strength. Beautiful. So off the bat, what we will know and what we have to keep in mind is that perhaps your manifestation, or what you're manifesting of you, what you really want at this very moment, is fully reachable for you. So let's put it out there, but it might come with a little bit of a setback, with a little bit of a delay. Maybe the odds are a little bit against you, or maybe it's something that you really have to work stronger, harder towards. So that also lets me know that perhaps it's something bigger in your life. It's probably not a tiny manifestation of maybe finding a $10 on the street, but perhaps it's something like winning a lottery, or becoming a CEO, or finding your one true love. And that is totally possible, but the key message for you is that you have to be strong. Now I'm going to cast some runes, and for that I will mute because it's going to be quite loud, but you will see me casting the runes, and I will also put them on the screen. Perfect. So I threw my runes now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of those that fell face down, because those are not relevant. And now that that is done, I'm going to move your runes a little bit further up so you can see better. I really wanted to make sure that I don't disrupt the positioning of them. And I will also zoom in a little bit. Beautiful. So when casting the runes, here is how I go about it. First of all, I see a big circle right here, which I'm going to put on the screen. And the middle would refer to the energies that are very present right now. On the right hand side, we are going to see the energies that are coming into, so those perhaps blockages or elements or type of energies that you need to work towards. And on the left hand side, we are going to see those energies that are passing by a little bit in the context of your manifestation. So perhaps that's something that already happened in regards to what you are currently manifesting, but it's still present, and it's still sort of holding you back a little bit or maybe supporting you. So we are going to see. At last, all the runes are falling in a particular way. So for example, you can see how some of the runes are sideways or upside down. This also has a meaning because it shows me how they are interacting with each other, and I'm going to walk you through right now. Perfect. So let's start from the left hand side, and we are going to be moving towards the right because those are going to be the energies that are coming in. So the middle would be right here, and the first rune that we are seeing here is Nautis. And Nautis represents hail, and hail typically represents some sort of a setback, some sort of a blockage, right? Because when the hail is really strong, for example, you can have the power to destroy the crops, and that doesn't work towards our greatest benefit. Now, this Nautis is not sitting straight like so, but it's rather laying on the back. Which means that there has been some sort of a setback in regards to your manifestation. And it's funny enough that the rune refers to a natural force of hail, and we can see here a storm and probably rain as a result of that. So your manifestation is a little bit blocked. I can feel that there is some elements that there is an element of a blockage within your manifestation, and you are perhaps also getting a little bit impatient when it comes to that. And the next rune that we have right in the middle is a Theresa's, and Theresa's represents a protection and defense, and essentially it's a thorn, right? So a thorn can defend someone but also can hurt someone else, so it could create a conflict potentially. And Theresa's normally stands in this position, but here is laying face down and is pointing towards Eighfas, which is this rune right here. Eighfas is in the correct position right here, and Eighfas represents a yew tree. I hope I pronounced that correct. Apologies if not. So how I would interpret Theresa's in the context of Eighfas right here. So Eighfas is a very powerful rune. It corresponds with a tarot card of a death card, which means transformation, new beginnings, very powerful awakening in this sense. Now we also, but since we have the Theresa's pointing down, and Theresa's in the context also of Nautis here would represent a conflict, that means that, okay, your transformation is supported, but at the same time there is a conflictive element that sort of prevents it from happening. And that could be a conflict within yourself. So maybe, for example, what you're really manifesting is it's not yet formed within you, so you don't really 100% know what you're manifesting. Maybe you somehow believe that you don't deserve this manifestation. Maybe you somehow believe that you are not good enough to receive it. There is some sort of a conflict going on. But I initially believed that this manifestation might be about some sort of a relationship. But that's just my message that I hear on the back of my head. Now let's see what happens on the right from Eighfas. These are the energies, and there's quite a lot of those that are coming in right now into your life, or they will be coming into this particular manifestation. So those are the ones that you have to address to be able to successfully, fulfill this manifestation. We have Vunyo, very beautiful rune. Vunyo upside down, a little bit of a blockage in terms of receiving this happiness. So what you're manifesting is related to eventually reaching the state of happiness, which would make sense in any case. Vunyo typically stands this way, but now it's laying on the back, which means it's a little bit blocked, but not blocked in a negative way. For me, if it was blocked in a negative way, it would lay first face down. So it's not completely blocked, but it's not completely there. Learn to receive. You see, Vunyo is here next to a rune called Manas Engibo. So how I would understand that. Manas refers to inner self, the sense of self, the, you know, how we identify as, what we think about ourselves, what are our values, how do we value ourselves. It's kind of a rune also that indicates a soul searching. And remember what I just mentioned with this AFAS, that this conflict here is within you. This rune right here, Manas, would indicate that. That would lead me further to that conclusion. So I think that you're not completely happy with yourself, and in a way you might believe that what you're asking for is not something that you're qualified for, that you're good enough to receive. Maybe you think you're lacking skills, maybe you think you're lacking something else in this regards, and that is blocking your manifestation. So you are on the open sea and you are on the way to get it, but these energies are stopping you from getting there here. Now we also have a Gibo. This is a rune of giving and exchanging energy. Now this rune also stands in a different position, although some argue that this rune does not have a upside down position because it's just an X. But in the case of the setup right here, I would say that the reason why it's on the side is because there is a setback in the exchange of energy. So Gibo is a rune of balance through gifts. How to understand that? That's a very good question. Essentially, when we give and receive, we need to do it on equal levels, right? We need to give people, but we also need to receive something back. We cannot be overgiving because then we are just draining ourselves. We cannot be taking away, like taking a lot of things from other people, whether it be physical things or just, you know, energy elements, because then we are going to be draining them, and that's not going to be sustainable and balanced. So Gibo here is telling me that this element of your life is also imbalanced, and you need to look into how you can balance it. Now, whether this is regarding you giving too much or receiving too much, we're going to see it further in the reading. Now let's see the runes down here. What we have here is Algis. Algis refers to elk. You know, you can see the antlers. You can see those antlers here. Algis is a rune of protection. It's like a shield for you. So in this situation, you are protected, and you have this energy of something or someone is looking out for you in this situation. So you are protected. We'll find out more about that one. And then at the end we have Sovilo, which is a rune of sun, and also laying sideways, pointing downwards. And Sovilo refers to happiness, joy, and celebration and fulfillment, and successfully accomplishing a task as well, successfully accomplishing your manifestation. This is sideways, you're not yet happy. Probably because, again, I feel like you just don't believe you can get what you're asking for. This is the overall message from here. The main blockage of receiving what you're manifesting is actually yourself, because you're not fully tapped into the idea that you have everything what it gets to get there, especially in the context of relationship, if that is the thing. Right here, that is the thing you have in mind. Wow, that's very interesting. I will take the runes now away, and I'm going to draw some oracle cards to see further into it. Since it feels like you have a lot of energy of accepting yourself, I feel particularly drawn to take the Healing Waters oracle cards. And this is a very non-standard reading. I'll be doing something different for each group. I already know that. So I'm going to take the Healing Water cards for you and see where they are going to take us. So those are the beautiful Healing Water cards. Let me shuffle them quickly. And I will take 3 cards from those. So let's see which one would come through first. I feel particularly drawn to this one. No. Let's see what we have. Water codes, ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. Beautiful. That could very easily refer to the Algis rune. Remember how I said that you are protected? It could be someone else protecting you, but it could just as well be your ancient wisdom, and it could be your divine self guiding you through this process. The next card that we have is called Gentle Force, Consistency, Persistence, Patience, the Long Game. Amazing. Love those cards. I mean, I love all my cards, but love this setup here. So see how I said that this is not an easy game. What you're manifesting is coming and it's possible, but this is not an easy game. It's not going to happen in a day. You need to be persistent and you need to stick through. Exactly that. And the last card that came through is Planetary Wave, Soul Mission, Trust, Inner Core, Soul, Team. Again, we have the team aspect, which could correlate very well with Algi's card, with the protection, divine self, your spirit guides, they're sticking around you and really helping you through. Perfect. Let's take Moonology messages cards as well to get a further context of this situation. So those are my beautiful Moonology cards. I'm going to choose some for you. And we have here, watch for signs, follow the moon. Self-regulation, exalted moon. Wow. I almost blew the candle. Let's move it a little bit further up so you can see. Let's take this in the context of your runes because those are the overall energies. We mentioned that the primary reason why your manifestation is not coming through is because you don't believe in yourself. Now, if you look at the self-regulation card, this is a card that talks about expressing yourself but also being mindful about it. And it's not only to other people but also to yourself. So if you're expressing yourself towards yourself and saying, oh, maybe I'm not so good, maybe I'm not this and that, essentially you're standing in the way to not only make your manifestation fulfill, but also what you're creating is you're roughing up the waters for yourself. Like you can see a little boat here and a lot of ruffle water wave situation here. You're roughing up the waters because you really make it harder for yourself. If you don't believe that you can get something, if you don't believe that your manifestation can come through, or don't feel like you're worthy of that manifestation, then it is less likely to come to life, because it's like, I always explain manifestation like this. You open your door to your soul, you shout something into the void, to the universe, and then you need to get out of the doorway. If you keep standing in the doorway, nothing's gonna come through because you'll be blocking the doorway, and it feels like you are standing in your own doorway right here. Now, because this situation is a little bit frustrating for you and you have less faith, we also have the message here watching for the signs. So the signs that are coming through your the signs that are coming through for your divine self, from your spirit guides, will help you to build the faith that you can actually get what you're asking for and that it's on the way. And that will perhaps also help you to build the faith in you. Now, we also have this planetary wave, soul mission, the inner core soul team. So you are supported by your divine family. You are supported by your spiritual guides here in what you are going to achieve, and you're going to feel really rewarded once you get there. But in order to get there, you essentially have to reshift your focus and try to find a way where you can fully immerse yourself in the idea that what you are manifesting is fully reachable and fully available to you, and that is coming. And at last, let's look at the gentle force in the context of all that. Consistency, persistence, patience. This is not going to happen in a day. This is not going to happen in a week time. Very sorry, my group number 1, but you will have to stick a little bit longer around to make sure that you are there through the full game. Right, so that's it for you, my lovely group number 1. In order to really manifest what you're looking for, in order to really strengthen your manifestation and make sure that everything is coming to you that you're asking for, you need to strengthen yourself, and you need to become the most strong, the most resilient version of yourself here. But you also need to do it through believing in yourself and expressing yourself also towards yourself. Give yourself some joy, give yourself some credit. You are deserving everything that you are asking for. Thank you so much for sticking around, my lovely group number 1. If that resonated with you, do let me know in the comment section below. I always enjoy reading those. And feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button if you'd like to see more content like that. Thank you so much, and a lot of love and light to you. Hi, and welcome to my lovely group number 2. For those of you that went with this beautiful amethyst, what a beautiful stone. I said it right here. And this is how this reading is going to go before we go to your card. Every group is a little bit different, so it depends on what I feel called to do. I do for this group. So first we are going to reveal your card and see what is the main theme around your manifestation and what is the kind of a key message. Then we are going to cast some runes to see what are the further energies coming into your life, or what has to happen energetically around this manifestation, if there are any type of blockages. And then we draw some oracle cards to see if there is any further message for you here to know. So let's look into the card. And we have Reframe. Also, what a gorgeous card, just saying. I will put the details in the description box below. So let's start by casting some runes and see what are the energies around this manifestation. So now that your runes are out and about, I'm going to pick up all of those that fell face down. And let's look at those and see what they mean in the context of your manifestation. So what type of energies there are and how you can support them. Now, when I interpret the runes, and everyone has their own individual different way of doing that, what I see here is a circle. I put it on the screen. We have a middle, which represents now on the left hand side we have energies that are passing by. On the right hand side we have energies that are coming in. I also interpret runes in the way they are laying. If they are face down, it would be the opposite meaning of the rune. If they are face up, it's the positive meaning of the rune that is upcoming, or the original meaning of the rune that is upcoming. And then I also look how they are positioned towards each other. So for example, you can see those two runes right here, and based on the way they are positioned towards each other, I can also see how they are related to each other, what themes are going to be corresponding. Let's start with the left hand side and see what type of energies are present in your manifestation but are on the way out. We have the manas, which is a inner self, essentially soul searching rune that talks about finding your true self, finding your inner self, and the topics around that. So when you think about this rune, and it's also laying on the side, but side facing upwards, perhaps this manifestation has something to do with your profound self, in a way that it really asks you, or it really requires you to reshift the way you were going about things now. Let's see what's more here on this side. We have Urus, which is representing in strength and determination, and the Urus is laying on the side facing down. So perhaps there is a bit of a I feel like you may be doubting yourself in the context of this manifestation. You may question whether it's going to happen at all, and you had a lot of sort of like a willpower to do everything that it takes to get that. But right now you're a little bit like, meh, I'm not quite sure if it's worth it anymore, because it's really not coming through, and you sort of lost your initial temper with that manifestation. Now we have here, on the top, Ingus rune. Ingus represents a new phase and new beginning. Wow, so that's really great because it's right in the middle. I would see the middle around here, so it's almost right in the middle. And this rune very beautifully corresponds with the card reframe. So you need to reinvent yourself in the context of this manifestation to make it come through. So the steps that you were taking up until now, they are not working. They're not working. You lost your eagerness, and you really need to sort of do this shift in order to be making the best out of it. It's coming to you, but it might take a little bit more time. Now here in the center, what we have is we have Fehu and we have Ansus right together. So Fehu is a rune of wealth, and it's almost in the right position facing upwards. So the wealth in the context of this manifestation is happening, which means what you're asking for is coming. And then we have the Ansus rune, which refers to communication, and that stands in the nearly correct position, slightly tilted towards the right. So there might be an ever so small blockage there. But in order to get abundance within this manifestation, you need to focus on communication, and you are reframing the way you're communicating that manifestation. Now, I sort of get like an idea here that you might be manifesting something material, either money, either promotion, maybe even a house like we have present here. Something that really requires a little bit more of a physical effort to it. And I say that because the Urus rune also refers to kind of a powering through, but has a very like a grounding sort of element around it, right? So that gives me really strong vibes of something physical. All right, moving on. Down here at the bottom we have a rune called Tivas, which is representing a Tyr, sky god in the Nordic mythology. So that rune represents leadership, being a warrior, being very active, and sort of really going for the things that you want to get. And this reading further enforces me with the idea that this might have to do with money and your position. This rune is not standing up, so the correct position is with the arrow up, but it's tilted downwards towards nothing or not any other rune. So it feels like there is a bit of a blockage there, a blockage in the area of really taking leadership actions on your manifestation. So if you're manifesting something around your job, for example, promotion to some sort of a leadership role, or if you're just manifesting, expanding your role, you are not taking enough action here to get there, and that is visible. That could be perhaps because you're a little bit discouraged at this point about what's happening, or that it hasn't happened as of yet. Let's look at the rune right next to it, which is Algis, and it represents protection and defense. This rune is actually pointing towards your Tivas, so it feels like even though you are not performing to your best capacity right now, others cannot see that yet. So others cannot see that. They are still seeing you as giving your best self, but perhaps you are not quite, or not anymore. So you have room to change that, because this has not become apparent yet to other people around you connected with that manifestation, and as a result of that you have this room and the freedom to uplift that type of element in your life. Now up here we have Berkana, which refers to empathy, growth, fertility. So this indicates that there will be some sort of a abundance coming in towards you. And it's in the same line here with your previous runes. There will be some sort of rebirth, reframe perhaps. So a new beginning coming in, or new opportunity coming into this manifestation that will allow you to really reframe and really see this again. Now at the very top we have Vunya. Vunya is a rune of happiness and joy and comfort. So that's coming. It's ever so slightly tilted, which means that perhaps, even though overly beneficial to reframe and change the way you go about things, it might not be quite as comfortable. But that is sort of the aspect of every challenge, right? So anytime there is something challenging, we might need to go outside of our comfort zone to overcome it. And then at last, Vunya is pointing towards Dagas. Dagas means a breakthrough and alignment and clarity, truth, success, all these topics. So essentially, Vunya let you know that there is a lot of happiness in this aspect, and now Dagas is laying on the side, which indicates that there is a slight blockage in also your understanding of how do you fit into your own manifestation. I hope this makes sense. Let's look further at the oracle cards. So I have here the Moonology messages oracle cards, and let's see what messages come through. So we have Moonflower, take a risk. Night Moon, shadow work. And Howl the Moon, process your feelings. Very interesting. So in the context of runes, remember how we just talked about the Berkana rune, which refers to sort of a new beginning and something new coming up, but it was tilted, so it was not quite sure. It was not quite obvious what it could be, right? So we have this take a risk card here, and it feels like that corresponds with that rune. Essentially, in order for you to tap out of your current state and enforce your manifestations and make sure you move forward with this idea, you have to take a bit of a risk here and take those more unconventional steps, which also corresponds really well with the reframe card, right? Because when we reframe, we change the way we go about things. We had a certain plan for how to get from A to B, but it's not working now, so we need to reinvent it newly in order to get there. When it comes to the process your feeling cards, in the runes we got this overall message that perhaps you lost your eagerness a little bit, or you lost your willpower to go through what you are wanting and what you are manifesting. Maybe you're feeling a little bit uncertain, and you lost a little bit your patience, and that is fine. That is absolutely fine, and it's understandable, especially when we are working towards something bigger and the road is really long. Sometimes we might feel like, oh, is this really happening? I cannot see anything moving forward. Is it the right thing to manifest? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not good enough, and all these doubts start coming in. So it's really encouraged for you to work with those and really process them through and through, so you can remove that blockage from yourself. It feels like you are dwelling a little bit over the fact that whatever you're manifesting is not happening. We also had the Urus rune sideways, which indicated that you lost your eagerness, and we also had the Fehu and Ansus runes together. Fehu meaning abundance and Ansus meaning communication, and Fehu being tilted to the side. So the rune Ansus is really encouraging you to talk. It's a rune of communication, and perhaps in this particular context, you need to talk to yourself about what is that you are really going for, and what is that you are reaching and hoping and wanting to achieve, and process all those feelings that you are experiencing right now, which really greatly corresponds to the shadow work. Shadow work refers to, working with essentially your shadow, and that is all the parts of yourself that you keep sealed and maybe don't talk about, in a way that maybe those are not easy things to say, right? Look, it's never easy to admit that we are not doing something right. It's never easy to admit that we have flaws, especially in front of ourselves. But this card is really encouraging you to do that, because oftentimes what we don't talk about with ourselves is actually the thing that holds us back and creates this energetic blockage, so we cannot move forward and be successful in our manifestation. And so shadow work is essential, not only for self-development, but also to really enforce yourself and your manifestations. And the shadow work and processing all that you feel will ultimately allow you to reframe your goal, to reframe your manifestation, reframe your mindset, to really tap into your most powerful manifesting self ever. Now I feel like I need to get more cards, so let's look which ones could it be. I think I'm going to reach for the Prism cards, which are going to uncover the type of emotions that are around you, because I get this understanding right now that something is blocking you, but you maybe don't know exactly what it is, and perhaps those cards will help us to understand a full context. So this is a very beautiful Prism cards deck, and they are very talkative, so I assume they're just gonna pop right out. There we go. Intuition. Flow, consciousness. Oh. Caution. And sadness. Before we even fully emerge to unpack this, can you please note that everything here is purple, green, and has this element of yellow, and that's just beautiful because you chose also amethyst. Amethyst is a stone that brings clarity, and it is used in energy work when you want to understand something, connect with the divine. That's also the purple color, right? It's also bringing peace. So let's see here. We have sadness. So these are the feelings that are blocking you right now. You're sad you haven't got what you are asking for, and therefore you are blocking yourself. You have consciousness, which is perhaps clouded by the sadness, or is a little bit blocked by the sadness, and the fact that you lost your eagerness. We have the intuition cards, caution, and flow. So the flow here beautifully corresponds with the reframe card, because if you can see, this is like a little swirl. I think that's the right word. And we have some waves here. So once you reframe yourself and you reframe what you are manifesting and you reframe your mindset, you will get into the state of flow. And when we are in the state of flow, everything is just coming to us. There's no efforts anymore that needs to be taken. Now we have the card caution. I immediately thought about the aspect that came through the runes, that you have lost your eagerness to pursue something because you don't see the win on the other side, and you lost your eagerness perhaps also because you are sat, and other people don't see that yet. So be very aware of that. The other people don't see that yet, but they will eventually see that if you keep going like that and you don't change your approach to the topic. So be cautious about that. Now, if you open up yourself fully, if you start this shadow work, and if you open up yourself, if you open up the book of self here, your intuition will lead you really to the right places so that you can overcome your current block. But you need to sort of really open up yourself to that idea. Be here ready to receive those informations that sometimes might not be, super comfortable, but once you work through them, you're already succeeding. And consciousness beautifully corresponds again with the intuition and shadow work. So being really able to fully emerge within yourself and really feel yourself. Sounds like a lot of work for you in group number 2, but on the other hand, it's not a hard work. This everything here is within a reach, and it's a good thing to know that in order to reach your manifestation and be your best self, you can take all those steps alone and within yourself, because you're in charge here of when you're going to accomplish those and when your manifestation will be really out there ready for you to get it. Thank you so much for sticking around group number 2. I hope you enjoyed. Do let me know in the comment section below what did you think about it, if that resonates with you, and once you reach your manifestations, you can also share with me. I always love reading your comments. Encourage you to subscribe and click the notification bell if you'd like to, so we can see more content like that. And thank you so much for your time here today. A lot of love and light to you. Welcome to my lovely group number 3. For those of you that went with this beautiful small quartz, it just looks like a very beautiful bubble, air bubble. I really love that stuff. Let's put it here, and let's first see your card. For each group I do it a little bit differently. So first we are going to unveil the card, which will tell us the overall direction in which you have to take yourself to be becoming your best self in terms of manifestation and become that really powerful magnet for manifestation. And then we are going to draw some additional cards to see if there are any blockages, and if so, what are those, and some oracle cards to see how you can overcome those. In the past 2 readings I also casted some runes. I don't feel like this is the solution for this group number 3. So let's start with the card. And we have a card called Synchronicity. Very beautiful card. Let's set it here. Speaking of synchronicity, we have the moons here. Just saying. And synchronicity is the thing that we see when we receive the signs that our manifestation is happening. So it feels like your manifestation is really close to you, to be completely honest. Let's get some Prism cards to begin with. So with the Prism cards, we are going to see if there are any type of blockages, and also what are the type of emotions around you in the context of this manifestation, to see if there's anything that you need to particularly focus on. And also, can you see this just gorgeous hollow situation here? I absolutely love it. Let me start by reshuffling those. Love. I also love that. Mystery. Are you manifesting love? Peace. Pain. Consciousness. fear. Off the bat, I'm telling you that there are those two feelings, and that is a pain and fear that are really standing in the way between you and your manifestation and your power of manifesting and the thing that you are manifesting right now. It could be, and I'm very inclined to believe that it could be something related to other people, but doesn't have to be. I just got a message, so that might resonate with some of you, but it feels like what you are manifesting is coming out of a situation that is quite painful and another type of experience that you want to have. So for some of you at least, this reading will refer to just that. So coming over through a situation, you know, sometimes when we are really down, we think, oh, when this will eventually end and I can just move on with my life and be my best be my best self and have the life I've always wanted. So I feel like this is sort of the type of a manifestation that might be happening for some of you right now. So if you are going here through that, the synchronicity and looking out for the signs and looking out for those repetitive patterns will be something that will really allow you to gain back this faith that your manifestations are coming through, and they will be very uplifting for you. They will create a lot of, you know, when you start seeing the signs, you will also become at peace in a way because you know it's coming. So you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can roll with that, right? And that is something that will help you to stick through. Now we have the consciousness card, and that card is a card that refers to looking through within yourself. So that also lets me know that what stands on the way for you from receiving what you're asking for are perhaps those feelings of pain and fear in a way, and it's something that is within you. So that means that you can just very well work through that. The mystery card, how could we understand it here next to also love? The mystery card here is in the context of once those synchronicities will start to, show up and you will start to notice them. Once you know something is on the way to you for you to receive, you might not be able to fully understand like what it is and in what shape or form it's coming. So that would be the aspect of mystery here, but be sure that what is coming to you is something that resonates with love. It does not have to be a partner, although it can be, but it's something that will really evoke the feeling of love also towards yourself. You will feel this abundance of love, acceptance from the universe, from your spirit guides, from everyone around you, and you will be sort of like the center of the world. Like you see, we have this planet here surrounded by little moons, and it's in the center. That is you. Everything will be working around you. Once you really tap into those synchronicities that are happening around you, once you really start seeing them and treat them as a sign of positive message from the universe that whatever you're manifesting is coming, those feelings will go away and they will make you like a magnet for other manifestations as well. So that is very beautiful. Let's take some healing water cards, Oracle, to see what else is in this topic for you. I'm already smiling because the first card is the Mist. Trust your inner compass, be led from within. Look at this card in the context of this message. Be your own compass, be led from within. Do I need to elaborate? The second card is let it go, release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. So that further enhances my idea that what you might be currently manifesting is overcoming those hardships in your life, all those situations that made you sad. Does not have to be one, it could be a bunch of them, but you need to let it go. we talk about letting go a lot on this channel, so might just as well continue. Letting go is putting yourself higher on a higher vibrations, because you drop all these feelings that are draining you down from your energy. Now, to be able to let go, now we can let go without understanding. That's a very funny concept. So oftentimes, in order to let go of something, we feel like we need to have the closure. We really need to understand what happened to be able to digest it within our head and be like, okay, this is irrelevant, or these are the reasons, and then we can understand it, be at peace, and move on. But oftentimes, more often than we would like, we will not really have the story. We will not really understand the full context. Other people might not provide it with us. We might be not able to talk to other people anymore, for example, if we are not in touch with that person, and we will not know the context. But the situation can stay with us, right? And can linger and can bother us and can create this negative set of energy that is surrounding us. And when we are having those around us, they're bringing down our vibrations. And when our vibrations are lower, our manifestations are less effective. Let's visualize that one. So what I mean by that, you can imagine the vibrations being the volume of your voice. So I always imagine actually manifestations as you open the door to your house, and the house is you, and you pass your message out. So you shout out what you want to receive. And this message, depending on how loud your voice is going to go further or not. And sometimes, or oftentimes, your manifestation is not so close to you, right? You are manifesting something that is potentially very far away. So if your vibrations are low, your voice is also very quiet. That means that when you just open the door and you whisper that you need something, perhaps that thing is not even going to hear you, right? Because you're just whispering. But when you're on your high vibrations, you open the door and you shout. Your voice is just so powerful in a way that it can reach the furthest points in the universe and really drag everything that you are asking for and make it come to you. So that's it. We want our voice to be loud and clear. And letting go is one of those elements. We don't even realize oftentimes how many things we haven't let go of, and there are so many situations that just linger around in our heads and manifest themselves every now and then. And we can know that when someone says something and it gets us really upset, oftentimes we are not upset at the particular person, but it actually triggers something within us. So really encouraging here you to let go of the situation that is currently bothering you, because there might not be a resolution there. You might not know all the truths, but at the same time, it's really blocking you from receiving what you really want. And the last card that we have here is the Sweet Waters: sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, balance, which is very beautiful, because once you reach your manifestation and once you enhance your vibrations, this is where you are going to land. So it feels like you might be manifesting a new relationship and love, and I'm here to say that it's actually coming to you. It's actually coming to you, but you really need to tap into the idea of letting go and forgiving others, but also forgiving yourself. So in order to become the most powerful version of your self-manifesting self, you need to work through the feelings that are lingering behind you, and understand that we maybe not always can know every answer, but we sometimes have to let go of the emotions and experiences that no longer serve us a purpose. So that is all for my lovely group number 3. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that resonated with you. Do let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about that? And feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button if you'd like to see more content from me like that. Thank you so much for your time. A lot of love and light to you.